It's live here on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland with John Robertson and Ian Auld.
Thank you, Richard, and a warm welcome to Dingwall, where the feel-good factor has returned after a dramatic late winner at the weekend against Livingston to open up a 6-point gap against a rock-bottom side. Don Cowie's men starting to look up rather than over their shoulder. The Staggies won't have it all their own way this evening, though. St Mirren are in town and in buoyant mood and chasing every single point to claim a second consecutive top 6 spot. Ross County make one change from the Livy win at the weekend. Eli King in for Teddy Jenks. St Mirren boss Stephen Robinson goes with the same 11 that beat St Johnstone. Both sides are out. We're about to get underway here in Dingwall. Conditions pretty much perfect. There is a bit of a nip in the air, but you would expect that late in February up here in the Highlands. Ross County all in navy blue get us going. They'll go from right to left in this first 45 minutes towards the north stand ground, and it's St Mirren in their change colours of red shirts, black shorts and red socks, going from left to right towards the jail end of the ground. It's the home side in possession early on, with Victor Laturi rolling the ball back to Ryan Leake, who's got the captain's armband in the absence of Jan Danda. He wore it at the weekend against Livingston. He's got it once again with Danda still out, although Jack Baldwin, the club captain, back on the bench. Here's Simon Murray racing down that right hand side, but the ball is behind for the first goal kick of the afternoon. And there's a first goal at Somerset Park. Let's hear from Andy Burke.
And it's 1-0 to Ayr United. They've been on the back foot for the opening stages, but just in the last couple of minutes managed to get themselves up the park, and the ball broke to fullback Nick McAllister inside the penalty area. He kept his composure to slot a neat finish past Ross Stewart to give the home side the lead. It's Ayr United 1, Partick Thistle 0.
Thank you, Andy. Partick Thistle have a really good record in the last couple of seasons at Somerset Park, but a good start for Ayr. Good start for Ross County with Eamon Brophy on the far side. Clips the ball into the 6-yard box, straight at the goalkeeper, Zach Hemming. John Robertson, the former Ross County manager, is alongside me for this one, and much like at the weekend, Robbo, Ross County starting on the front foot.
Yeah, you can see the confidence that Saturday's result has brought. There's a zip about them. It's a nice solid shape, 4-3-3. I'm intrigued to look at how the front three are going to move about, rotate. It looks like Jordan White down the middle with Brophy and Murray either side of him, but there's a lot of interchanging already. St Mirren the same. They've got Mandron down the middle with Kilty and Lewis Jameson moving about. So as I say, both teams have set up in an attacking formation here, and I'm sure once the game settles down into initial, we'll get goals.
This is the 52nd meeting of the two clubs. St Mirren with 25 wins in the previous 51. The sides have met already twice this season. Ross County victorious at the end of November. Jordan White's late goal. St Mirren getting revenge only a fortnight afterwards, beating the Staggies 2-0 in Paisley. A Leake own goal and a Junga sealing the points for Stephen Robinson's side. We've got a bit of defending to do early on in this one. In the opening minute or so, Josh Reid with a throw in down this near side, level with the 18-yard box, into the feet of Eli King. Now back to Victor Laturi, and he goes back to Ryan Leake, and the skipper rolls the ball back to on loan Fulham goalkeeper George Wickens. It's a big punt forward from the Ross County goalie, and St Mirren have possession on the far side with Panzer. Upfield it goes, looking for Mikael Mandron, who's on red-hot form in the last couple of weeks. Scored at the weekend, might have got a second, but that goal came off Dimitar Mitov, and very unfortunate. But he's spearheading this attack of late, and Stephen Robinson likes what he sees in Mikael Mandron.
Yeah, and both sides you say are similar. They've got a big target man. You know, you've got Mandron and White up there, and we've seen Murray and that move about. I think the tactical bit for me so far is that St Mirren are setting up with a back three, but Alex Godjic is moving into the midfield. He's going in there to help Quan and Munce as well to make up that three at times. So it's quite intriguing. They lose the ball, he drops into a back three. They win the ball, he drops into a midfield three to help out his two midfield men in there.
Alex Gogic involved as Simon Murray hits the deck midway through his own half, but he looks up looking for a free kick, but the offside flag was up on the far side, and it's Zach Hemming, the on loan Middlesbrough goalie, all in the light green, will take this free kick. Launches the ball high and long, looking for Mikel Mandron, who chests the ball down, shows too much to Victor Laturi, who fires the ball away to safety. It's brought down well by Marcus Fraser. Now Elvis Bowomo up the St Mirren right hand side to no avail. St Mirren have it back though with Kwon. Bowomo involved again. Boyd Munce clips it down the right hand side, looking for Mandron. Ryan Leake gets there, but concedes a throw in right in at the corner flag. And St Mirren, after a bright start from the home side, St Mirren up the other end, looking to take the game to Ross County. It's a throw-in deep in Ross County territory. Elvis Bomono takes it short to Kwon. It's come off the South Korean shin pads, and Ross County have the throw-in back. Big match for Ross County this evening, of course. That win at the weekend, their first in 10 Premiership matches. St Mirren have their eyes on a top 6 spot. There'll be no pushovers this evening as Brophy switches the play wonderfully, picks out Michi Efeti, who's full of running on the right hand side. Up to the 18-yard box he goes. He's got support from Max Sheaf, but Sheaf overruns it and it's behind and out of play for the goal kick. Brophy, lovely switching player. He's really added something different to this Ross County side in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's a real live wire. You know, not only does he give a goal threat, but his all-round game there. He spotted the run. It was a brilliant switch of play there to the far side. The pass was just slightly overhit there from Etienne, just too far for Sheaf to get onto the end of it. So you know, County, you can see when they get the ball, they want to get forward. They want to get forward quickly.
Luca Yinya with the header back into the gloves of the all-yellow goalkeeper George Wickens. Made his debut in the Scottish Cup defeat to Partick Thistle, one of many loan signings from Derek Adams before departing. It's a long ball from Ayinya, almost finding Eamon Brophy, who's alert to the danger. Bolton eventually just comfortably seeing the ball back into the gloves of Zach Hemming, and this one ebbing and flowing nicely from end to end as Ryan Leake's involved on the edge of his 18-yard box, heads the ball away to safety. Bomono picks up the scraps as Ross County clear through Max Sheaf. Now it's Boyd Munce, sends the ball out to the far side. Max Sheaf back to help out once again, gets something on it, only enough to Scott Tanser up the St Mirren left. Tanser swings in the cross, and it's up and over the crossbar of Wickens and behind for the goal kick.
Yeah, you can see in the early stages here the game's not settled down as we would imagine. It's very competitive, but both teams look very comfortable in their shape. You know, St Mirren are playing 5-2-3, and say with Gogic moving in and out of the midfield area, this looks a far better balance for Ross County. The 4-3-3, they've got real pace with Brophy and Murray, who are prepared to run long. Jordan White's trying to drag Gogic forward so that there's space in behind him for County to get on for the long ball.
Ryan Leake forces the ball forward on the halfway line, finds Eamon Brophy, who's worked his way into the box. Shout for handball, which was from the St Mirren players. They get it clear only as far as Josh Reid. Now Victor Laturi, midway through the St Mirren half even, sends it out to Efeti on the far side. He's got help with Eli King. Back inside to Victor Laturi, who was impressive in the win over Livy at the weekend. He goes back out to the right-hand side for Efeti. Now it's Sheaf, no way past Scott Tanser, and St Mirren will tidy up. Like Sheaf has only just really broke into the Ross County side, having arrived in the summer. A player who's benefited from the change in management. Here's Eli King. Laturi just on the edge of the semicircle, looks up, strings the ball forward, looking for Brophy. Eli King's recycled the scraps. Now Josh Reid. County have it down the left-hand side with Brophy. Back in field to Victor Laturi. 25 yards out, goes for the shot, blocked by Alex Gogic. Looked quite a weak effort from Laturi, but he was going for a goal nonetheless, and St Mirren have the free kick midway through that Ross County half.
Yeah, that was brought there by Kilty. I think he wasn't going anywhere, and he knew Laturi was coming from behind him, and he just stopped stopped in his tracks. Luturi ran into him. I don't think there was much the county midfielder could do, but both teams do look a threat in the break. They've got that little bit of pace, that little bit of physicality about them as well, and you can see both teams realise what the difference 3 points can make tonight, and they're both, as I say, started in a very positive manner.
Queen's Park on fire in the Championship. They now lead Arbroath by 3 goals to 0. The 13th and 14th goal of the season for Rudy Payton. Killian Sheridan also on the score sheet as well. As Callum Davidson's side, 3 goals to the good at home to Arbroath. Ayr United lead Partick Thistle by 1 goal to 0. Elsewhere in the Championship, it's goalless between Dundee United and Ayr Drayonians. Cally Thistle and Dunfermline, and Raith Rovers Greenock Morton. Also goalless in League One as well, as Hamilton travel to Stirling Albion. Goalless here in Dingwall on BBC Radio Scotland, Sports Sound online and on BBC Sounds. As Ross County have the throw on the far side, thumped forward by Aina, and it's over everyone in navy and blue and red, and it's plucked out of the air by Zach Hemming in the St Mirren goal. Here's Bolton, rolls the ball into the feet of Alex Gogic on the score sheet recently in a fine St Mirren victory away. In fact, Gogic has slipped here, allowed Jordan White in, and Jordan White rolls the ball into the back of the net. A real howler from Alex Gogic, and Jordan White was there, pounced on the mistake, rounded the goalie. 1-0 Ross County.
Oh, it's a huge mistake from Alex Gogic there. It was just a nothing ball over the top. He let it bounce. He was under no pressure. He could have took a touch and rolled it back the goalkeeper. He just tried to knock it back with outside his foot. He's completely fluffed his line. He's left it way short. Jordan White didn't need a second invitation. Good first touch. Drew the keeper, went round up to the side and just rolled it into the back of the net. Big goal for County. Disaster for St Mirren.
Former St Mirren striker Stephen Thompson is watching this one in Glasgow as well. A real disastrous start, Tomo, for your former side.
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, the game had been fairly even up until this point, but it goes down as a huge individual error from Gogic, who's been one of St Mirren's best players this season. He's just too casual with his pass back. He gets it caught under his studs ever so slightly. It's well short for Hemming, and you've got to credit Jordan White for anticipating it and the touch round the goalkeeper and finish. Looked easy, probably was easy, and it's the perfect start for Ross County.
Thank you, Tomo. Jordan White with his 4th goal in this fixture. Level now with Liam Boyce, 2 behind Stephen Thompson, who is the top scorer in the fixture with 6 goals. Here's Simon Murray trying to link up with White once again. Brophy's picked up the scraps, edge of the 18-yard box on the far side, no way through, and St Mirren will clear. A real howler from Alex Gogic, someone who's been a standout performer for St Mirren this season and ever present in Stephen Robinson's side. Well, County got the opener on Saturday with a mistake from Mo Sangari midway through the park, and you've got to pounce on those mistakes and take your chances.
But when you're in this position in the league, that's 100% correct. You've got to, it's a little variables, it's just a little differences, you know, the details. And, you know, it was a nothing ball, and it's amazing how many times a player who is, as Tomo said, the standout performer for his side, the one person that Stephen Ormston would be thinking there, oh, that's fine, he'll deal with that, he's dealt with it all season.
Yeah, interesting as well that as soon as Alex Gogic made the mistake, his teammates across to make sure you help him up, make sure he's okay. He's a big presence in this St Mirren side. And Stephen Robinson watches on in his technical area, always so involved. The throw in just in front of him as Eli King nods it down, looking for Jordan White, who of course worked with Stephen Robinson. Robinson signed him for Motherwell a few years ago from Inverness Cally Thistle, where you had him, Robbo. County have 3 strikers now finding a bit of form as well. Brophy at the double at the weekend, Simon Murray's their top scorer, and Jordan White on the score sheet. Here's Eamon Brophy, a former St Mirren striker himself. Infield to Max Sheaf, he's got Effetti on the overlap. Sheaf thought about the shot, drilled it into the legs of Greg Quilty, and Ross County have their tails up.
Yeah, that's the goal's given them a huge lift, there's no doubt about it. And as I said, as a manager, there's things you can legislate for, there's things that you can deal with and looked at the opposition, but yeah, you can't deal for an individual error. And as Stephen said, it would have to be probably St Mirren's most consistent performer.
Max Sheaf wins a corner for Ross County, their first of the evening. And with just over 13 minutes gone here, there's a real chance for Ross County to double their advantage. They scored 2 at the weekend against Livingston. They're a team who've really struggled for goals in the first half of games this season. Don Cowie has them flying out the traps. They have the lead in this one. Here on BBC Radio Scotland, they have a corner on the far side. All the big men, as you would expect, forward. Brophy joined by Ryan Leake on the edge of the box. In comes a corner. White is the target. Ryan Leake gets his head to it. That looked where we were sitting to be trickling in, but St Mirren get the block. It's still on for Ross County. And, well, someone goes to ground inside the penalty box. The referee, Chris Graham, had a look. It's Loic Ayinha who went down, but play rages on, and it's Alex Gogic on the far side. Knocks the ball infield to Lewis Jameson. St Mirren on the counter as Ayinha is back on his feet and races back to help out, as County have a bit of defending to do. Elvis Bawomo looking for a way through, rolls the ball back to James Bolton on the halfway line. Bolton looks up, zings the ball out to the left-hand side. Good header from Eli King, and eventually County will now get the ball clear, and Alex Gogic now under a bit of pressure. Heads the ball back this time safely into the gloves of Zach Hemming.
Well, it's going to be an interesting one. I don't know if Stephen can help us, because what I could see there is Vetty running back there. His boot was off, so maybe, I think it looked accidental, but somebody must have trod on his boot. Whether they'll have a look at this with VAR or not, or just say it was accidental, but he certainly nearly lost his boot from that one. Yeah,
Tomo's got the benefit of the television replay in the studio. Tomo, did you make anything of that incident? We'll hear from Stephen Thompson in a moment as St Mirren attack down his left-hand side, ball into the box, and it's over the head of Jordan White, who's back defending. St Mirren still have possession with Kwon midway through the Ross County half. It's Keelan Boyd-Munce, lovely ball out to the right-hand side for Bawomo. Good ball in towards the back post, knocked down, Luke No. Takers in red and black. Boyd-Munce picks up the scrap, drills it towards goal, and George Wickens upfield stretch to his right-hand side to make the save.
Good save there. It was good play from Simon. I thought the cross was poor, but Kilty made something of it, and it dropped to the edge of the box there. The Boyd-Munce was a good strike. It looked like it got a wee deflection. It's a good solid save from Wickens.
St Mirren with their first corner of the evening. George Wickens with a wonderful stop to prevent Boyd-Munce, who's lurking at the edge of the 18-yard box as St Mirren take aim with this corner. Simon Murray back to help out, heads the ball away to safety. One back by Boyd-Munce. It's come back into the penalty box, straight into the gloves of the goalkeeper, George Wickens, who had a really couple of good saves at the weekend as well. Livingston were throwing everything at Ross County towards the end of that one. A real good double save from Tete Yengi and Jason Holt, and he was at his best there as he launches a Ross County attack, but it bounces away from Brophy and into the gloves of his counterpart in green up the other end. St Mirren with possession with Kilty, no way through as it's charged down by Victor Laturi. Another play on the far side. 17 minutes gone. Ross County 1, St Mirren 0. Here in Dingwall on BBC Radio Scotland. Kwon beaten to the ball by Eamon Brophy, who's full of energy. Arrived at Ross County back in January last year from St Mirren. A point to prove against your old side, but yeah, to be fair, he had a really good performance at the weekend. He's just someone that's you can see the confidence oozing from him at the moment.
It's one of those edges, you know, that we talk about in football at times. You know, he's left St Mirren, he's come to Ross County, he's done great. When he's fit, he's a real handful, and you know, you think that's the aspect you look at. You've also got Jay Henderson on the bench, who's left St Mirren to come to Ross County. Marcus Fraser has gone the other way. So there's all these little stories in between, and listen, when you're playing your old side, you'll want to do well, but as we thought, it's been a pretty open game. Both teams try to get forward. The difference is that one mistake.
Here's Lewis Jameson, drills the ball out to the left-hand side. We'll head to Somerset Park in a moment. There's an equaliser I'm hearing, but at the moment Ross County have possession in their own half, and Mark Sheaf is under a bit of pressure. St Mirren win the ball back. Alex Gogic has it on the halfway line, looks up, sends it in field to Marcus Fraser. Everyone back to defend for Ross County as Bolton steps out and beats Brophy. Now Bowomo down this near side into the feet of Mandron, who's had a quiet start to this one by all accounts. As Mandron looks to play the 1-2 with Bowomo, County get it clear. Now Brophy, as soon as Ross County get it there, keen to launch an attack. Brophy riding the challenges and sending the ball back to his centre half, Ryan Leake, who takes a touch and rolls it into the path of Josh Wickens, who's under pressure and eventually gets the ball away from Greg Kiltie. County have it in the midfield with Eli King. Let's go to Somerset Park, an equaliser for Partick Thistle, Andy Burke.
Yeah, it certainly is. Brian Graham marks his 150th appearance for the Jags with the goal, and it's the equaliser. Kerr McEnroy had a shot from the edge of the box. It was partially blocked, looked up into the path of Graham, and he had the simple task of nodding the ball home from 6 yards. So equaliser, and Partick Thistle have been just about worthy of it. They've come right back into the game. Partick 1, Ayr United 1.
Thank you very much for that, Andy. Of course, Brian Graham went into this evening game's top scorer in the Championship. Rudy Payton did score a double as Queen's Park are 3 up at Arbroath, but Brian Graham's goal has him level with Payton on 14 goals at the top of the Championship scoring charts. Goalless in the games between Dundee United and Airdrieonians, Cali Thistle and Dunfermline, and Raith Rovers Morton. Also goalless between Stirling Albion and Hamilton in League One. Here in Dingwall, Ross County lead by a 1-0. Jordan White pouncing on a mistake from Alex Gogic, who has possession for St Mirren. With the right boot, strokes the ball out to the St Mirren left-hand side. Find Greg Kiltie, who loses out on the far side. Ross County have the throw-in. And it's interesting just looking into the two dugouts there. Stephen Robinson pacing back and forward at the moment. It's arms crossed for Don Cowie. He's a very calm, very confident, assured man, and at the moment he'll be exactly that, his side doing the business.
Yeah, it's what we expect from both of them. Don measured, studying, looking at what his side's doing, and he'll be happy with that. I'd say it's a very good solid shape, very balanced shape. Stevens, yep, you're right, he's pouncing about there. He's wanting his team to get back into this. As I said, that he'll be frustrated. They've probably not had as much control of the ball and the preciseness of the passing that he would be wanting, but they're still in the game. As I say, though, and I'm sure they'll have spells. Both teams will have spells, but at this moment in time, as I say, it's the Alec Gogic mistake that's separating the sides.
Here's Kwon, rolls the ball down this right-hand side. Elvis Bowomo has it into the feet of Mandron. Lovely touch from Mandron to set up Lewis Jameson. The touch was heavy, and County will get it clear. Well, St Mirren starting to get things going forward, as Alex Gogic is under pressure from Simon Murray, who just chases and nips at the heels of the centre half, who clears, but Ross County have it back with Eli King. Rolls it into the midfield for Victor Laturi. Now Josh Reid down this left-hand side, behind for a throw. Let's go to Tannadice now. Tyrone Smith is there for us. Goalless at the moment. Tyrone, how's it going?
Yeah, it's still 0-0 here at Tannadice, where we've seen the clock tick into the 37th minute, but both sides have in the last few minutes had great opportunities to break the deadlock. Airdrie were the first to try there. Like a corner was swung in from the right hand side. It was met by Callum Fordyce, but his shot produced a wonderful reflex stop by Jack Walton. At the other end, just a few minutes ago, United got a free kick about 30 yards out. It was Glenn Middleton. He stepped up, curled it in with his left foot, but much to United's frustration, his effort rebounded back off the crossbar. Here at Tannadice, where it's Dundee United 0, Airdrieonians 0.
Thank you, Tyrone. Second plays fourth at Starks Park. Rory Loy can tell us how it's going.
Yes, indeed. After that opening flurry of throw-ins and corners from Morton, Raith Rovers did come into the game slightly. Liam Dick's effort was parried away by Jamie McDonald after 16 minutes. And in 25 minutes, Alan Power had a long effort palmed away by Dubrovsky in the goals. There was a penalty shout after half an hour when Ewan Murray's header looked like it hit the hand of Ian Wilson, who has since hobbled off with an injury replaced by Grant Gillespie. Referee Stephen Kirkland said no penalty. It has threatened to boil over at times, Ian. There's been 4 yellow cards in this first half. half in a short period of time, but as it stands, not a lot of quality in front of goal when it's 0-0.
Thank you, Rory. Sounds tasty in Kirkcaldy as Kwon picks up for St Mirren. St Mirren starting to edge their way back into this contest. They trail by a goal to nil. Tanser has got Marcus Fraser on the overlap midway through the Ross County half. The former Ross County captain waits for the support. It comes from Tanser. His cross strikes the chest of Ifeti. Still Fraser and Tanser pluck away. In comes a cross. Kilty had a half a chance at the edge of the 18-yard box, taken off his toes. But St Mirren still have it with Jameson, 25 yards from goal, rolls it into Kilty, squares the ball across the face of goal, and George Wickens and his Ross County defenders watch as it trickles behind for the goal kick.
Good play there. It was a wonderful, wonderful tackle from Bolton, first and foremost, because County had a 3-3, and then just a quick feet, Jameson into Kilty. Kilty's put a wonderful ball across the goal, but that's the area he's just been, that's the area you'd expect him to be in at the back post, and it was beyond Mandan. But I think it's, I'd say the game's settled down now. I would imagine Stephen Robinson will feel better. I think territory, I don't know if Stephen can help us out here this, but I think possession will be fairly even. I think St Mirren may well be edging the territory and perhaps attempts a goal.
Simon Murray unable to win the header, just on the edge of the St Mirren penalty box, and Alex Gogic has it once more. Get the thoughts of Stephen Thompson in a few moments' time, and Scott Tanser has it on the far side into Marcus Fraser. Now Gogic. St Mirren patiently knocking the ball about as Ross County get back in behind the ball. Bolton runs all the way into the centre circle inside his own half. Now out to the left-hand side for Fraser. Ball forward for Mandaron, beaten to the ball by Ayina. As Gogic has it once again. Thumps the ball forward this time, helped on by Eli King, and James Bolton can only head awkwardly out of play on the far side for a County throw-in. Simon Murray runs across, bolts across to take it, but Michi Ifeti has joined him. In fact, it's quickly taken by Murray. Now King looks for the 1-2. Laturi fouled in the midfield. Let's go to, in fact, hang on a wee second. Laturi has taken it very quickly. It's Murray, clips the ball into the box. Jordan White takes it down. It's a poor first touch from the big striker, and St Mirren will get clear. And they'll get clear and they'll race up that left-hand side. Kilty checks back in field to Mandaron on the halfway line. Switching the play is Kilty to find Kwon. First touch, second touch from Kwon to fire it out to the right-hand side to Elvis Bawomo, edge of the 18. Looks for a cross, it's hit Josh Reed. He's under pressure from Lewis Jameson, who's won the ball back. Jameson, now Bawomo, still down this right-hand side. Jameson back on the ball for St Mirren, whips in the cross with the left foot. It's headed away by Ryan Lake. Still, St Mirren have possession as Murray bumps into the challenge with Boyd Muntz. And it's out of play on the far side. Stephen Thompson is watching on in Glasgow for us. Stephen, what have you made so far of this one for St Mirren?
Yeah, I mean, I think for both sides there's not been a lot of quality football, not a lot of chances created. Robbo was talking about that penalty incident earlier on in the match, and it was Kwon stood on Ayina's boot. It did come off, but it was completely accidental. So far, I quickly looked at that and dealt with it. There was no way it was going to be given as a penalty. But yeah, I mean, I think St Mirren, in terms of possession, have slightly the better just now. It's at 60-40 as it stands to St Mirren, but they're not really doing too much with it. You had the Kilty one, he flashed across the face a couple of minutes ago. Probably St Mirren's one of St Mirren's only bits of quality so far in this first half, but chances are at a premium.
Thank you, Tomo. County in possession once again on the far side as Brophy goes to ground right under the nose of the far side assistant, who was quick to flag and alert Chris Graham to the foul. And it's in line with the St Mirren 18-yard box over on that far side. A real opportunity here, Robbo, to get this one in the mixer.
Yeah, as both sides have got some big players there. As you can see, Leake striding forward. Fetty's come in there, Jordan White, but St Mirren should be able to cope with that. But right now, I think the difference between both sides and the threat in the final third is Brophy. Brophy's been really lively, really sharp, and the St Mirren forwards haven't replicated that for the other end, so that's what's given what you'd think is County that little edge.
Josh Reed to take, whips it in near post. Elvis Bawomo there to turn it behind. It's out of play on the far side. As Ross County win the throw-in, Michi Ifeti is coming over to take this throw-in. There's been another goal at Somerset Park. Andy Burke.
And it's for the home side. Ayr United 2, Partick Thistle 1. The ball was scrambling about the Thistle penalty area. A couple of efforts that were miscued, but they fell perfectly to Kurt Willoughby on his first start, arriving at the back post to tuck home. And Ayr United are leading by 2-1.
Thank you, Andy. That one just edging towards half-time. An 8 o'clock start for us here in Dingwall. Half-time whistles will be starting to sound in the Championship very shortly. Ayr United 2-1 up then at home to Partick Thistle, 0-0 at Tannadice between Dundee United and Ayr Drayonians, as Brophy rolls the ball into Max Sheaf, 25 yards from the St Mirren goal. It's cleared away and it's now in the possession of Victor Laturi, the Canadian, battling with Boyd Muntz for possession. He rolls it back to his skipper Ryan Leake. Now it's Brophy. Eli King's running off him midway through the St Mirren half. King backing to Brophy, who's been chased and harried by Kwon, the on loan Celtic midfielder, who's signed on loan until the end of the season, although Stephen Robinson, speaking pre-match, would love to keep him even longer. He's been a real impact since joining in January. Celtic summer signing, yet to make an impact, but he's certainly making an impression in Paisley. Ross County with the throw-in. Reid takes into the feet of Simon Murray. The decision goes against Simon Murray. The other scores in the Championship, heading towards half-time down the road in Inverness. Cally Thistle 0, Dunfermline 0. Queen's Park 3, Arbroath 0. That is a half-time score, and it's goalless at Starks Park, as we heard from Rory a few moments ago. And in League One, also goalless between Stirling Albion and Hamilton. Forward by Zach Hemming towards Mandron, tidied up on the edge of his 18-yard box by Michi Ifeti. Into the tackle as Victor Laturi picks up scraps and dumps the ball out of play on the far side for a St Mirren throw-in. The home side, plenty of energy in that opening stages, but you just get the impression that St Mirren are slowly but surely working their way back into this one.
Yeah, it's the confidence that St Mirren have got with the results and the position in the league. It looks like they're following their process. They know they'll come back into it. They feel they'll come back to it. They believe they've got the quality to come back. So for me right now, the difference is both of the wider strikers for each side, Jameson and Kilty, and Murray and Brophy, have worked really well. It's just the two main strikers, Mandon and White, haven't really got into the game just yet.
Here's Bilwomo. Sings the ball into the box. It's eventually cleared by King on the edge of the penalty box, as James Bolton picks up for St Mirren. Bilwomo links up with Jameson, who's been lively in the opening half an hour, but shows too much to Laturi. Ross County can get going as he crosses the halfway line. Beaten to the ball by Bolton, who nips the ball away from Eamon Brophy, and now Bilwomo gives it straight to Eli King, and it's King who gives the ball back to Aina, and County will be able to build again. Another goal at Somerset Park. Andy Burke's a busy man.
And it's another goal for Kurt Willoughby. Ayr United 3, Partick Thistle 1. The Thistle defence seemed to go to sleep. Willoughby allowed to get in behind, and he kept his composure to lob the ball over Ross Stewart for his second goal of the night. Ayr United's third. It's Ayr 3, Partick 1.
Thank you, Andy. Just hearing half-time at Dundee United, Ayr Drayonians, and half-time at Starks Park, goalless between Raith Rovers and Greenock Morton. We'll get half-time reports from the guys very shortly. But here in Dingwall, it's St Mirren in possession with James Bolton on the halfway line. Alex Gogic, of course, with that mistake early on in this one, gifting possession to Jordan White, who rounded Zach Hemming to open the scoring, the only goal of the game so far here. Ross County 1, St Mirren 0. St Mirren just forcing it there. Ross County happy to let them do so, and it's all the way back to their goalkeeper George Wickens.
Yeah, St Mirren just need to, you can see Quam and Bunch have got the quality there, but they're just not getting the movement further ahead. You know, Mandron's been very quiet, very ineffective in the game so far.
Long kick from the goalkeeper, causing all sorts of problems for St Mirren. It was a real boot forward from George Wickens. It almost bounced very kindly for Brophy and Simon Murray. And St Mirren were a bit nervous defending that one inside their own 18-yard box. Here's Mikel Manderon making progress down this St Mirren right-hand side, but he is guilty of pushing Josh Reid to ground just in front of the jail end down this near side, and it's Ross County who win the free kick. As Don Cowie applauds that one, takes a quick drink of his water, very happy with how things are going for his side so far. They got back to winning ways for the first time since the start of December at the weekend, beating Livingston by 3-2. Josh Sims with the dramatic late winner. He was the hero at the end of last season as well, scoring that important spot kick in the playoff final win over Partick Thistle, and he's playing hero again with that late winner against Livingston. Wickens with the kick. This one not as good as his last one as it finds the halfway line and the boot of Lewis Jamieson, who knocks the ball back to Bowomo. Forward by Bowomo for Manderon to chase, and Ryan Leake's there to thump the ball into the main stand here at Ross County. Half-time, Queen's Park 3, Arbroath 0 in the Championship. Some start for Callum Davidson and his side. 2 goals early on from Rory Pating, and then Killian Sheridan, who's just recently joined the Spiders. Spent a spell up north here in the Highlands with Cally Thistle before his short-term deal came to an end in January. He's on the score sheet for Queen's Park. They lead at half-time 3-0 against Arbroath, goalless at the Caledonian Stadium between Cally Thistle and Dunfermline. Tannadice with Dundee United and Airdrieonians. Raith Rovers 0, Greenock Morton 0 as a half-time score, and Ayr United 3, Partick Thistle 1, half-time at Somerset Park. And it's half-time in Stirling Albion. Hamilton still going here in Dingwall. We started at 8 o'clock. And with just over 36 minutes gone, it's Ross County 1, St Mirren 0. Jordan White the difference. Here come the away side though, breaking forward, but Kilty showing too much to Leake. But it's come off the thigh of Ryan Leake and behind for a St Mirren corner.
Yeah, strong play from Mandron there. There's a bit of a tussle with the Fetty, and referee let it go there. Chris Graham didn't think much in it, and it looked like a small opening for St Mirren, but it was crowded out and they get a corner.
Corner kick in the corner of the east stand in the jail end, and it comes from Tanser, away by Ifeti, only as far as Boyd Munce, who struck one well in the earlier in the half, but this time he can't pick out Tanser on the far side. Simon Murray wins it, and can Ross County break down this right hand side as Murray's eventually stopped in his tracks by Bowomo, who back to help out over on that left hand side. He's operated on the right hand side during this one, and just takes the pressure off his side, allows the players in red and black just to get back behind the ball, and they're on in possession with Bolton. Now Gogic with the right boot, looks out to pick out a player on the left hand side, and perhaps that sums up his evening so far, because he's knocked that one right into touch.
Yeah, it was a poor ball there. You can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to play Kilty in there and Tanser on the left hand side, but I think he's trying to force it to make up for that error. Instead of just, listen, you know, as a player, especially at the back, just keep it calm. Just you play yourself back into the game, and you know, make good decisions.
Eli King, the one change from the win over Livy at the weekend, replacing Teddy Jenks. Gives it to Josh Reid down this near side. Reid back into King, and it's a thumped ball forward into the St Mirren penalty box for Jordan White to contend with Alex Gogic. Bowomo wins the battle and sends it forward to Manderon on the halfway line. He's won a throw-in. Stephen Robinson playing ball boy as he throws the ball forward for Lewis Jamieson, but he's no in a hurry, and Bowomo eventually takes the throw-in into Bolton, who just jogs his way into the middle of the St Mirren half, dances on the ball before looking up and sending the ball out to the far side. Fraser, former Ross County captain, former Ross County title-winning captain as he helped Ross County to the championship victory in 2018-19. A teammate of Don Cowie, who starred for Ross County that season, on his return to Dingwall. Here's Elvis Bawomo down this near side. He's done well to find Lewis Jamieson, edge of the Ross County 18-yard box. Jamieson takes the ball for a walk and finds Elvis Bawomo once again. Now Jamieson up against King. St Mirren still in possession. It's Bolton midway through the Ross County half. Right-footed ball out towards Tanzer on the far side. Shows too much to Sheaf. And St Mirren have possession once again with Bolton, 10 yards inside the Ross County half. Looks up, sends the ball out to the right-hand side, and it's Eamon Brophy back to help out, and he flicks the ball behind for a throw-in. Ross County defensively have been they've been energetic going forward, but defensively, whenever St Mirren have got the ball, everyone back behind the ball, they've been really well organised.
Well, listen, both teams have worked very hard and defensively, and as I've said before, and Stephen's bang on, nobody's really created a chance. There's been no real clear-cut chance made. The goals come from a glaring error, and that's the difference between the sides right now. It's simple. St Mirren will be frustrated because Bournemouth's getting a lot of room down the right-hand side here, but so far he's had 2 or 3 poor crosses, or it's not gone past the first man, or it's gone too far, or he's not quite delivered, and yet he's got lots of space. So listen, it's been a tough, uncomprising game here, with both teams very, very solid, basically separated by that Alex Gojic mistake.
Corner kick for St Mirren down this near side. Referee Chris Graham just having a quick word with Eli King on the edge of the Ross County 18. Bolton and Munce have joined the attack, and it comes towards the 6-yard box and grabbed onto by George Wickens, just taking all the pressure off the home side. Good delivery, and the keeper making the save. Brilliant delivery, and it's water height, it's head height. The keeper's actually, it's not like he's taking it at full arm's length. He's had to take that around about his head, and he's come through bodies. Wickens there done very well to help his team, because if any St Mirren player gets across that and just gets the slightest touch, it's a potential equaliser. Wonderful ball in, but brilliant goalkeeping from the keeper. Well, the on-loan Fulham goalie making a name for himself in the first couple of weeks as a Ross County player. Of course, made all those saves at Ibrox a few weeks ago, as the home side concede a free kick just inside the St Mirren half. 3 minutes or so to go before the interval. Ross County lead by a goal to nil here on BBC Radio Scotland, online and on BBC Sounds this evening. We've got half-time reports from the guys at the championship games. We've got 3 games covered as Zach Hemming sends the free kick into the box. There's a real coming together, and inside the box as Ryan Leake went to ground, and the referee deciding in the end to give the goal kick. Ryan Leake barged to the ground. Mandron was also on the ground as well, but Chris Graham happy enough just to award the goal kick. Well, Bolton's making a claim that he's had the jersey pulled off him. He's not very happy, and he got hauled down. The referee seems to be checking it. I didn't see much in it. Again, Stephen was there, but I don't think there was that much in it. Just more of a coming together, and it bobbled about there. But Bolton's certainly not happy, but I can't see that being given as a penalty. Well, the referee makes his way back into the centre circle, and no indication that VAR are going to check this one as George Wickens restarts the game. It's a long blast forward. Tanzer and Sheaf compete on the far side. Throw-in goes the way of the Saints as we edge our way towards half-time. Ross County would love the half-time lead, a 2-0 lead at the weekend before Livingston struck back, and then Josh Sims came to the rescue. Here's Jordan White, the goal scorer, turns and volleys the ball up the right-hand side for Eamon Brophy to chase, and he's full of running as the ball is eventually knocked back by Fraser to his goalie. And it's Reid who wins the throw-in down this near side. A bit of urgency in the next couple of minutes is required as Robinson once again throws that ball into play as Elvis Bawomo goes to ground. He takes a sore one as he rubs his back, the bottom of his back furiously there. That was a a real sore one for the wing-back as he went into the contest with Simon Murray just in front of us, Robbo.
Yeah, I didn't see that much in it. It's just a good, honest, hard challenge for the ball. He might have caught him in the backside there. The referee not happy with Simon's reaction to giving a free kick. I didn't think there was a great deal in it, but the game just, the last 10 minutes has been like the first 10 minutes. It's just dived into that sort of attritional part of the game. Stephen said that there's been no real quality so far to cut out a meaningful chance.
Zach Hemming sends it forward. James Bolton's in the penalty box as Mandron won the flick on, and Bolton was there 12 yards out, but George Wickens alert to the danger and grabs onto the ball. Just once again taking all the pressure off the home side as St Mirren start to up the ante as they look for a way back into the game. Stephen Robinson locked in a discussion with his assistant manager Gemma O'Carroll as the home fans love that kick out. George Wickens once again ball in hand, and he thumps the ball all the way down the other end, but once again it landing safely in the gloves of Zach Hemming up the other end. Quite some kick as we enter the additional minute of stoppage time here in Dingwall. Well, if Ross County can get some joy from those goal kicks, they might be onto something. Here comes St Mirren with Elvis Bawomo down this right hand side, knocks it back in field to Bolton, who's under pressure from Simon Murray, and he nips the ball just in front of Simon Murray to find Gogic. And the safer option might have been the goalie, but heart and mouth stuff there for St Mirren. They have possession once again in the midfield as Boyd Muntz heads on. It's away by Leak, and it's out of play on the far side. No, in fact, it's kept in by Marcus Fraser. As we're into an additional minute at the end of this one, a first half which, as the sides separated by a Jordan White goal, and you could see an Alex Gogic mistake as Mandron has possession. He goes to ground softly, but nonetheless it is a foul. But there indeed is the half-time whistle from the referee Chris Graham. He brings the half-time to a conclusion. It's a first half which, as I mentioned a few moments ago, has really hinged on that mistake from Alex Gogic. He slack with the back pass 11 minutes in towards his goalkeeper. Jordan White reacted quickest. He pounced on the mistake, rounded the goalie and slammed home the opener. St Mirren have offered a very little going forward. Their best chance came from Keelan Boyd Muntz, who volleyed in from 20 yards out, but George Wickens was there to turn the ball behind. It's been a first half which has been short of opportunities, but nonetheless Ross County have the lead at the break here in Dingwall. It's Ross County 1, St Mirren 0.
Ross County versus St Mirren.
What a strike!
This is Sports Sound
from BBC Radio Scotland.
So an early goal from Jordan White, his sixth of the season. Ross County 1-0 up against St Mirren. It is goalless in League One between Stirling Albion and Hamilton. And these are the scorelines elsewhere. We'll get reports from our three reporters out and about. But Ayr United 3, Partick Thistle 1. Dundee United 0, Airdronians 0. Inverness Caledonian Thistle 0 and Fermland 0. It's Queen's Park 3, Arbroath 0. And Wraith Rovers 0, Morton 0. So let's go to Andy Burke first of all at Somerset. An incident-packed first 45, Andy.
Yeah, terrific first half, Richard. The team's just coming out for the second half at the moment. Partick started really well, and Ayr had Josh Clark to thank for keeping the scores level. A brilliant save to deny Aaron Muirhead in the first 5 minutes. And then on 15, Ayr took the lead. Mark McKenzie's effort was blocked, but the ball broke to Nick McAllister, who slotted a really cool finish home to put the home side in front. And Partick Thistle hit back on 33. Kerr McEnroy's shot blocked in the edge of the box, but the ball looked up to Brian Graham. He nodded home from close range to mark his 150th Jags appearance with a goal, but then a quick-fire double just before the break from Ayr put them in charge. Another Mark McKenzie effort found its way to the back post. Kurt Willoughby was lurking to turn the ball home, and the same man struck just moments later, stealing in behind the Thistle defence to latch on to Fraser Bryden's pass and lob. A lovely finish over Ross Stewart to give his side a 3-1 half-time lead. So a lot of work for Thistle to do to get back into this game. We've just kicked off in the second half with Ayr United leading Thistle by 3-1.
Andy, thank you very much indeed. Kurt Willoughby with his first couple of goals since joining on loan from Oldham at the start of the month. United 3, Partick Thistle 1 to Tannadice, then Dundee United against Airdrieonians and Tyrone Smith.
Yeah, the second half's just got underway here at Tannadice, where it's Dundee United 0, Airdrieonians 0. The home side made a very, very lively start to the game with Glenn Middleton and Scott McCann both seeing shots blocked, but things really settled down. They couldn't keep up that pace as the visitors started to grow into things, and Airdrieonians almost broke the deadlock on 24 minutes. Charlie Telfa's corner was met by Callum Fordyce, whose powerful shot from 10 yards out produced a really fine reflex stop from Jack Walton, who did brilliantly to parry the ball away. At the other end, United were denied by the woodwork when a sumptuous Glenn Middleton free kick rebounded back off the crossbar, and moments later Middleton then saw a powerful angled effort fizz just wise. It's a pretty tight game, this one. It would be a very brave man who tries to predict its outcome here at Tannadice, where it's Dundee United 0, Airdrieonians 0.
So goalless it is in that one, and it is the same story in Kirkcaldy, Rory Loy.
Yes, it is indeed. We actually had a great chance in the opening minutes of the second half, which I'll get to, Richard, but it was Morton who started the brighter. An early flurry of corners and long throws, but no goal to show for it. On 16 minutes, Jamie McDonald was called into action for the first time with a Liam Dick effort from the left-hand side, and a long-distance effort from Alan Power was parried by Dabrowski. No keeper really pushed to their limits, I have to say. Comfortable saves all round. Plenty of cards and corners in that first half, and Morton's style of play probably been imposed slightly better than Raith Rovers. They've not been at their free-flowing best. There was a penalty shout as Ewan Murray's header hit the hand of Ian Wilson. However, no penalty was given, and Ian Wilson did limp off injured not long after he was replaced by Grant Gillespie. Jack Baird's header went just wide from a set piece late in that first half, and at the start of the second half, Lewis Strapp's long throw was headed just wide by Baird. I thought it might have been creeping in, but no such luck. It is still 0-0 as it stands here, Richard, about 5 minutes into the second half now.
Rory, thank you. It's Caley Thistle 0, Dunfermline 0. And in the other game, Queen's Park, where they took charge early against bottom side Arbroath, 3-0 at half-time. Killian Sheridan getting his first goal since joining up with Callum Davidson's side. 2 goals for Rudy Payton, 19 for the season in all competitions. He is having a wonderful time. Queen's Park 3, Arbroath 0. Talked about how tight it was at the bottom. It's kind of opened up a wee bit as things stand. Arbroath would be 7 points adrift at the bottom. It would be 5 points between 9th place Inverness and 5th place Ayr. The Queen's Park would be moving up a couple of places. Dunfermline and Airdrieonians, both dropping down a slot. I mean, so much could change in the course of the next 45 minutes, and it's significant too, you know, in the Premiership. It is a narrow lead right now for Ross County, a long way to go in that one, but County would move ahead of St Johnstone. It would mean that ahead of their meeting at Pittodrie tomorrow night, St Johnstone would be in 11th spot, but just 3 points behind Aberdeen. It's remarkable, actually, the way things are moving around there. You could see a situation where Aberdeen could drop even further if St Johnstone can get out of their losing run and pick up a victory there. All the action tomorrow night. Join Kenny and the guys tomorrow at 7 o'clock for Wednesday's Sports Hour with coverage of those 5 Premiership matches. Queen's Park have scored early in the second half. It's now 4-0 for them against Arbroath. It's Dom Thomas who has got the 4th goal in the 49th minute. Stephen Thompson, what have you made of the opening 45 in Dingwall?
It's not been a brilliant game, Richard, in all honesty. Chances very much at a premium, a lack of quality from either side once they get into the final third. Kind of no lack of effort, you would say, between the teams, and not too much between the sides either. St Mirren probably territorially having the better of the ball, but doing very little with it. Hopeful balls into the box. One of those led to what would have been a penalty claim. It was a pull on Bolton's jersey, but also a potential handball from Leake. his hand's kind of not in a natural position up in the air, and the ball comes off his hand before hitting his head. It's the sort of one that you would have seen possibly, being given earlier in the season. I'm surprised that there wasn't some sort of check, whether it be for the pull or for the potential handball. So I'll be interested to hear what Stephen Robinson's got to say after the match about that particular incident. The goal comes out of nothing, really. It looks like a very easy pass back to the goalkeeper from Gogic, and he just gets it all wrong. It kind of rolls off the underside of his foot. He doesn't get a good connection with it. It's short, and in fairness to Jordan White, he's onto it in a flash and rounds the goalkeeper and tucks it away nicely. That's kind of been the only chance really for Ross County in terms of efforts on the St Mirren goals. There might have been a couple of kind of half chances that Boyd Munns had a shot from the edge of the box that was slight deflection and parried away by the goalkeeper, and probably had the better in terms of being in Ross County's final third more, but doing very little with it. So St Mirren will need to improve in this second half if they're to get a goal back, that's for sure, because they don't look like scoring. For Ross County, do they then sit and say, right, well, we're winning 1-0, can we just turn this into a strong defensive performance and get the 3 points? But looking at their season in a whole, up until now, you probably wouldn't bet on them being able to do that, given the amount of goals that they've shipped this season. So it'll be interesting in the second half. I do hope that the standard of the game improves, because it's not been brilliant fare.
Yeah, actually 12 games since they last kept a clean sheet. You go back indeed to those, as Robbo was talking about, those back-to-back wins at the start of Derek Adams' reign. I think there were a few. There was a leak handball that you mentioned there, Stephen. I mean, literally, it brushed his fingertips. I don't think the ball even changed course, but there was also one that hit the arm, I think, which led up to the Boyd Munns shots. There was the accidentals kind of caught in the boot, which so. But I've got to say, I'm delighted that VAR hasn't chosen to intervene with those, because they're all so marginal and so minor incidents.
Yeah, I mean, the handball one, from a St Mirren perspective, then, I mean, it is the slightest of touches, but that doesn't mean that it's not necessarily handball. I know. The pull, I think, on the jersey is possibly more interesting. Yeah. Because there was a wee spate of them earlier in the season where jersey pulls were getting flagged up on a regular basis. Certainly, every couple of weeks in Sports Scene we saw a jersey pull and the VAR intervening. So I do think that Stephen Robinson will be asked about it, and he'll have a strong opinion on it. But in fairness, St Mirren haven't really deserved or done enough to get a goal back in the game. They've got to improve in terms of creating better opportunities. Robbo mentioned Mandron in the first half, and he has been scoring more regularly recently, but he's not really got involved in the game too much. When the ball has gone into wide areas, the quality from St Mirren hasn't really been there. Tanzer, we're used to seeing delivering good balls into the box, hasn't really had that much involvement. Mwombo on the right hand side, he's had a couple of opportunities to put balls in and not really managed to do it. A lot of the game's been played centrally, and it's becoming overcrowded and becoming messy, and no team's really able to get their foot in the ball and start to build any attacks that would break out into good quality football. So it's not been great, but we live in hope that the second half improves.
Indeed, let's hope we do have that open attacking play that we were anticipating potentially. Look quickly to the Scotland women's national team playing in the Pinatar Cup, of course. Beat Philippines in the semi-final. Final earlier today against Finland. It was a 1-1 draw, Scotland coming from behind, but they lost 5-4 on penalties to Finland in the final, and Nicola Docherty having her spot kick saved. Afterwards, we got the reaction of the head coach, Pedro Martinez-Losa, with Amy Canavan.
Pedro, commiserations after that one. What's the overriding emotion right now?
Well, the emotion is disappointment. Obviously, losing, we had the ball to win, but apart from penalties, that is always a lottery. We have been practicing all the week penalties, so we were ready for that. And at the end, we have to give responsibility to the players who have to do it. And very happy with the performance. I think we did a very complete game. In possession, out of possession, the level of effort, commitment, very good on high pressing, counter pressing. Final third, we created so many arrivals on the final third, and that efficiency on the final third, what we discussed it before. But we play against a very serious opponent who play very good football, and I think it was a very good test that helped us to develop the team. And the mood is okay. We're stable. I think we wanted to win. We were excited about that. We have done a lot of work together as players and staff for that. But at the end, the lottery of the penalties created disappointment.
Just before Finland scored the opener, their real only chance in the game, particularly in that first half, there seemed to be a little bit of confusion from the middle of the park. You know, Aaron Cuthbert wasn't sure if Chelsea Cornet was to go, was to sit or whatever.
No, there was no confusion. I think it was to clarify the distance with what player they have to go. Aaron, and then it was to clarify that she was feeling that when you play the game, obviously some circumstances change. Sometimes Chelsea had to go, and sometimes Erin. So we just discussed it immediately, and it was all good.
Then the response, obviously, particularly in that second half, it really was, you know, press from Scotland. That must be the real pleasing factor out of this, yeah?
Yeah, and also I think the second half we expected with the win, like the other day. First half with the win on favour, we expected to have more the ball, more presence in the final third. That was really what happened. In the second half, we were ready for maybe other scenario, because obviously the win will condition a lot of our capability to get out of the pressing. But I think we were excellent. I think in many moments, obviously, we dominated the opponent. Even with the substitution, they brought a lot of energy and incredible impact on the team. So every player is assuming the role. So we came in a camp where we needed a little of recovery and reconnecting from the competitive aspect. I think we are totally connected now and believing what we can do.
So it's all about the Euro qualifiers. Do you feel that Scotland are in the best possible position to head into them?
Well, yeah, but we are competing against Finland, who is a team who is in League A right now. We beat them before. We have the feeling now that we could be the better team. Before my arrival, I guess the feeling was not so good when we competed against Finland. The elimination of the Euros, not being able even to play the playoffs. So it's not only against Finland; it's a pattern of competing well against Belgium, and we want more.
You know how these things work. Obviously, people will look at the scoreline and whatever, and perhaps, you know, look at the Nations League campaign as well. Do you feel even more pressure now, perhaps, that Euro qualification absolutely has to happen?
No, I think being a national team head coach is always the pressure of getting results, about playing well and winning games. I think in these two friendly matches were helping us, obviously, to reconnect with those feelings, to make sure that we all have confidence on that. And now the pressure, real pressure, on a football-wise and competitive-wise, comes when you want to qualify for the Euros.
Pedro Martinez-Locha, Scotland's women, losing 5-4 in penalties to Finland in the final of the Pinatar Cup Championship this evening. Ayr United 3, Partick Thistle 1. 18th goal of the season for Brian Graham, but 1 from Nick McAllister, 2 from Kurt Willoughby as Scott Brown's side in charge. They are still goalless, Dundee United, Airdronians and Cally Thistleton Fairmlin. It's Queen's Park 4 are both nil. Rudy Payton's got a couple, 19 for the campaign. Killian Sheridan and Dom Thomas also scoring there. And it's goalless at Kirkcaldy. Raith Rovers against Morton, goalless 2 at Forth Bank in League One between Stirling Albion and Hamilton. We've had 1 goal in the big Premiership encounter in Dingwall. It was a mistake by Alex Gogic. Composed finish by Jordan White. Ross County lead by 1-0. It would be a massive win if they can see it through in terms of their bid to try to remain in the top flight. Live second half commentary to come right here on Sports and on BBC Radio Scotland with John Robertson and Ian Auld.
Thank you, Richard. Welcome back to Dingwall. Two sides are out, ready to start the second half. 6 of the last 6 games have seen the home side come out on top in this fixture. Don Cowie will be hoping that stat remains come full time. His side in the driving seat as St Mirren get us underway in their changed colours of red and black. They all go from right to left in the second half. Ross County all in navy blue with the white flashes. Will go left to right towards the jail end. No changes at the interval as Marcus Fraser battles for possession just in front of our commentary position near side. Infield to Kwon out to Jamieson on the far side, edge of the 18. He's got Bowomo in. Jamieson goes alone and it's punched clear by George Wickens. Good effort from Jamieson and a big glove from George Wickens to turn it behind. First goal in the Championship second half. Tyrone Smith at Tannadice.
Yes, and it's gone to the visitors, Airdronians. The ball was swung in from the left-hand side and it was Gabrielle McGill who rose highest, powering in a header to send the small away support into raptures. You can probably hear the boos from the home fans in the background here at Tannadice, where it's now Dundee United 0, Airdrie 1.
Thank you, Tyrone. Big result then at Tannadice as Jameson skips in from the right-hand side for St Mirren, drills the ball along the deck all the way through to George Wickens. Mandaron was the target. St Mirren flying out the traps in the second half, Robbo.
Absolutely, and I'm sure they've flew out the traps with a flea in their ear from Stephen Robinson. He'll be a lot more from them, and they got it there. Wonderful switch of play from Quam. Lewis Stevenson drove in there against Josh Reid, committed him, cut inside, great strike, really good strike. George Wickens at full stretch to par it away, so it's encouraging signs for St Mirren.
Stephen Robinson very happy with how his side will have started the second half. He'll be a lot happier with a goal though. Ross County have a throw-in down this near side. Michi Effetti takes it, rolls it into the right boot of Victor Laturi. Now back to Effetti, swings in the cross. Brophy was lurking on the penalty spot. St Mirren can't get it clear, it's back to him, and Brophy, edge of the 18, as he looks to roll Alex Gogic. Sends in the cross, and it's all the way into the gloves of Zach Hemming at his near post. He's in a hurry to get going and rolls the ball out to Elvis Bawomo on the far side. Bawomo infield to Mandaron. Mandaron with the 1-2, but it comes off Ryan Leake. And now Jordan White in possession. Reid on the halfway line, fires the ball forward for Simon Murray to chase. Handball shout goes the claim from St Mirren players. Marcus Fraser quick to raise the hand as the ball did strike Simon Murray's hand, and St Mirren have a free kick as everyone jogs their way back into position, although Simon Murray just sends the ball back to where the offence took place. Not happy with where the free kick was being lined up, but nonetheless Zach Hemming, all in green, is behind it as they look to send this one forward. St Mirren looking for an instant response in this second half. They trail by a goal to nil. Jordan White's 11th minute opener as Boyd Munce flicks the ball into the 18-yard box. Ryan Leake, the Ross County skipper, flicks it away to safety. Now it's the Max Sheaf down this near side, sends the ball forward to Simon Murray. Ross County started the first half so brightly. They need more in the second half though, because St Mirren look up for this one. Victor Laturi gave possession away but has it back on the halfway line. Drills the ball out to Josh Reid on the far side. Leake fires the ball for Jordan White to chase in at the corner flag on the far side. James Bolton stood up against the challenge of White to nod the ball behind for the corner. And Josh Reid makes his way up, the former Coventry City man who started his career at Ross County as a youngster, worked with Don Cowie in the club's youth academy. And the Canadian fires the ball into the 18-yard box. It's away by Bolton and helped on by Bawomo. Trying to play on the far side on the halfway line. Well, St Mirren manager Stephen Robinson has just given a nod to a few of the subs just to carry out their preparations. Keanu Bacchus just in front of us makes his way up to get warmed up. Toyosi Olasanya also, just to keep things ticking over. And it's now 5-0 in the championship to Queen's Park. Quite incredible scoreline for Callan Davidson's side. Liam McLeish adding a fifth. 0-0 at Starks Park between Raith Rovers and Greenock Morton, as we heard from Tyrone. A big goal at Tannadice. Airdrie Onions leading Dundee United. Airdrie Onions with the worst away record in the championship. Well, what a win that would be for Rhys McCabe's side. Ayr United 3-1 up at home to Partick Thistle. In the other game, it's Cali Thistle 0, Dunfermline 0. Billy Mackay missing a 10th minute penalty for the home side. Here in Dingwall, Max Sheaf has possession. Ross County with Michi Effetti 1-0 in front, rolls the ball infield to Victor Laturi. He's been bright, he's been lively in this one as Effetti takes aim, sends the ball into the 6-yard area, and it's met by the leaping George Wickens to claim and roll the ball out to Bolton on the far side as Jameson steps in field. just inside his own half. Left-footed delivery all the way down to this near side, met by Tanser. Forward to Mandron. Loic Ayinya there first, and Ross County have it back. Brophy, Laturi, first time ball for Simon Murray, who just looked up the line, and we felt he was in an offside position, because normally Simon Murray scampers after every loose ball. St Mirren have the throw-in down this near side, midway inside their own half. Met by the head of Ayinya. Shows too much to Kwon, and steps Ellie King on the halfway line, but St Mirren have it with Bawomo. Striding forward, lovely ball to Lewis Jamieson, edge of the 18. Looking for someone on the overlap on the far side, but it just not clicking at that precise moment for St Mirren, just not making it happen.
Yeah, it's the final third that's let them down there. They're moving the ball very well, 18-18 at the moment, but this formation to play a 5-2-3, it's important that the wide men come inside and drag the fullbacks account in and leave the wide areas for their wing backs, but they're not really doing that. And with Quam and Cameron Bunce in the middle of the park, they're not getting forward enough. So Mandron at times, unless Jameson and Kilty are prepared to do the hard work and get in beside him, is being left exposed, and they've just not quite had that quality that's required in the last third.
Here's Alex Gogic. Receives the ball from Marcus Fraser down this near side, switches a play to find Bawomo. January arrival in at right wing back. Of course, Ryan Strain started the season so well for St Mirren. He's out and has been out of action since the middle of November after he sustained an injury on international duty with Australia. He's working his way back to full fitness. Here's Bawomo on the far side, first time cross, met by the head of Jordan White. In fact, sorry, Ryan Leake on the edge of his 18-yard box. Going to say why is Jordan White all the way back there, but Ryan Leake it was, the large looming figure of the Welshman, who was signed by Malky Mackay. Max Sheaf could walk his way into trouble here as he got Scott Tanser late in this near side. And Chris Graham having a quick word with Sheaf. That is the first yellow card of the evening. Chris Graham's 87th yellow card of the season, yet to flash a red as the referee. His only red card, his last red card even, came at the end of last season when he sent off Shamal George in an end-of-season game between Livingston and Motherwell. Keelan Boyd-Muntz is over this free kick for the visitors, just inside the Ross County half. One hand in the air. That's the signal. He takes this one left-footed, but it doesn't reach the edge of the Ross County 18. It's met by the ginger hair of Simon Murray, who knocks the ball away to safety. And in fact, Bawomo steps in to make the back pass, but Simon Murray was watching it all the way as St Mirren launch an attack. It might fall kindly in the 18-yard box for Kilty. There's a clash there between Kilty and Ayinya, and medical attention will be required for the Ross County man as Kilty makes his way back up onto his feet. The referee just giving the go-ahead for the Ross County medical staff to enter the field of play. Oh, while that's happening, let's take a quick trip around the grounds. Let's head to Somerset Park. Andy Burke is watching Ayr United against Partick Thistle.
Yeah, it remains Ayr United 3, Partick Thistle 1. Not quite as lively in terms of goalmouth action as the first half was. Jamie Murphy had a curling effort for Ayr that wasn't too far away from the corner of the box, and Partick had a half chance just a few moments ago to get themselves back into the game. Tommy Adaloy getting on the end of a diagonal, but it just couldn't divert his effort on target. But Ayr United looking the better at the moment, seem to be relatively comfortable. Thistle will be hoping to get a goal to change the tide, but it remains Ayr United 3, Partick Thistle 1.
Thank you, Andy. Ayr United heading for their first home win under Scott Brown. Last time we checked in with Tyrone at Tannadice, Gabby McGill opened the scoring for Ayr Drionians. What's the Dundee United response been like, Tyrone?
Well, it's not been great, if I'm being honest with you, Ian. There's real nervousness on the pitch and a real anger in the home stands here at Tannadice. You can probably hear some of the booing in the background. United really struggling to put Airdrie under any real pressure. In fact, since they fell behind, their only real chance of note was a weak Kevin Holt header straight at the Airdrieonians goalkeeper Joshua Ray. It's probably worth pointing out that just before Airdrie took the lead, they had another great opportunity when the ball was played in from the right hand side and it fell to Callum Gallagher, and he was denied by a brilliant last ditch tackle by his namesake Declan Gallagher. So it could have been a whole lot worse for Dundee United here at Tannadice, where the scoreline currently reads Dundee United 0, Airdrieonians 1.
Thank you, Tyrone. Wraith Rovers, of course, could be looking to pounce. Let's check in with Rory Loy and find out what's happening at Starks Park. Rory.
Not an awful lot, Ian, for a match which involves, you know, a team on a 15-game unbeaten run in Morton and a team in Wraith Rovers who are pushing for promotion and play some lovely stuff. It's been sore on the eyes, this one, shall we say. There have been a couple of half chances in this second half. Cammy Lewis had a low effort which was saved by Dabrowski, and Lewis Strapp's right-footed effort was took a massive deflection and just went wide as well. Ian Murray sent on Vaughan, Rudden and Mullen to try and make a difference, but the Tannoy announcers just announced that the clock, somebody forgot to start the clock on the big screen at the start of the second half, so it's 5 minutes slow, and that's about as exciting as it's got.
It sounds enthralling, Rory. Elsewhere in the Championship, Queen's Park are leading Arbroath by 5 goals to 0, and down the road from us here in Dingwall, Cally Thistle are goalless at home to Dunfermline. Ross County are about to make their first sub of the evening. Teddy Jenks is ready for action. He's just waiting for Victor Laturi to leave the field. Victor Laturi has really impressed me, Robbo. A surprise change for you?
It is. I think it's just fresh legs. You know, Don said that before the game. He thought that was too much for Terry Jenks, and he felt Jenks was outstanding against Livingston, so he's rested him for the first hour or so. He's now brought him on. But you're right, Laturi, I'm surprised when you're 1-0 up, do you really want to mess about then and there? But he's maybe saw something and he's decided that's what he needs.
Here's Eamon Brophy, Simon Murray on the overlap. Ross County down the left hand side, although there is a stoppage in play. Ross County have a man down over on the far side. I think it's Jordan White that's down with the hand at his chin, perhaps being just caught off the ball there.
There was a little clash there between White and Bolton. Very, very accidental. They both just went for it. Jordan got there a split second in front of Bolton, and they just banged into each other. Neither made much of it. I think they've just given themselves a wee bit of a shake. Jordan may require a trip to the dentist at some stage, but he's big enough, and well, I'll not say ugly enough, because he's quite a good-looking chap to get on with that.
He's a big lad as well. But he can handle himself. There's Eli King in possession now for Ross County as they get the restart. Josh Reid with the left-footed delivery into the box. It comes. Teddy Jenks was there. Michi Efeti tries to keep the move alive, but St Mirren will have possession, and it's Scott Tanzer the clear through as Mikael Mandaron picks up just inside his own half, crosses the halfway line to find Kwon. Kwon rides the challenges before going to ground. It took Chris Graham an awful long time there to award the free kick, but he has given it. Kwon's back on his feet, takes it quickly. Now Scott Tanzer lumps the ball into the 6-yard box, met by the gloves of George Wickens.
You can see Stephen Robinson there, and he's not happy, because we pointed out in the first half, Womo got down the right-hand side lots of times, chance to put decent quality in the box, never done it. Scott Tanzer going down the left-hand side this time again, an opportunity to put a ball in there and ask questions. Nope, big high one, and we've already seen how confident and comfortable Wickens has been under the high ball already tonight.
Alex Skogic, his clearance can only strike Keelan Boyd Munce. And just look a little bit lost in the last few minutes. They're about to make a change of their own. I'll bring you news of that in a second or two as Ross County have a throw-in down this right-hand side. 25 yards up as Michi Efeti will take it as he steals a few yards as he makes his way closer to in line with the 18-yard box. The former Grimsby Town man, signed on January transfer deadline day by the former manager Derek Adams, gets the throw in into the feet of Sheaf, gets it back, knocks it over the head of Tanzer. Eamon Brophy has possession down this Ross County right as he wins another throw-in of Marcus Fraser. Both players scored for St Mirren in their last win in Dingwall. 3-2 success back in 2021. Brophy, Fraser and indeed Scott Tanser on the score sheet for St Mirren that afternoon under the charge of Jim Goodwin. It's changed days, of course. There is a corner to Ross County as Josh Reid makes his way across. Keanu Bacchus is about to join the action as the corner's taken quickly. It's Jenks who fires the ball in from the edge of the box. Josh Reid does some neat work down this near side as Effetti rolls the ball back to his goalkeeper. Big long blast forward from Wickens as White struggles to get the ball under control. In fact, a double sub for St Mirren. James Scott is also being prepared for action, and we will now find out who they will replace. The Australian Keanu Bacchus is on. It's Kwon who he'll replace, and Kwon just makes his way over on the far side to cross the touchline, so Bacchus can enter the field of play, and on will come James Scott, and he'll replace Greg Kiltie, the striker who worked with Stephen Robinson at Motherwell, joining on loan in January from Exeter City. And Keanu Bacchus, of course, who has been a real mainstay in the St Mirren midfield. Of course, he was on international duty with Australia, so he's had to work his way back into the field, into the team even. Up the field come Ross County, and it's Mishi Effetti down this right-hand side, watched all the way by the sub. Sheaf fires the ball into the box for Murray. Kept in play down the near side by Effetti. Under pressure from Scott. Sheaf delivers the ball, but it's straight to Alex Gogic, who dribbles out of the 18-yard box, but he's met by Teddy Jenks, and he's under a bit of pressure, eventually finding James Bolton. Forward by Bolton into the feet of Jamieson. Jamieson waits for the supporting run of Bolton. He plays a 1-2 on the halfway line with Bowomo. Crosses into the Ross County half and launches the ball forward. It's a good looking ball too. Mandron was the target, and Mandron lets the ball evade him, but kept in play, and in come the cross from Scott. It's away by Wickens, another big punch, and the goalkeeper took a sore one, and Graham blows the foul.
I'm not so sure there's much in that. I think he's got every right to go for it. It's a good ball in from the right to begin with from Buemo, and Mandron done great to actually keep it alive. He's rolled it out there to Tanser. It's a great ball whipped in along 6-yard line, and you know the big striker's gone for it. I don't think there's much of a collision there, and Wickens has managed to get the punch away. But the referee, Chris Graham, has decided to give the free kick.
Yeah, free kick to Ross County, and Chris Graham has just gone across to warn George Wickens. Time wasting, I think it is. He's certainly pointing to the watch as the St Mirren subs, Kwon and Greg Kiltie, who went off on that far side. It's an awful long way round. They've eventually joined us just in front of us in the main stand in the St Mirren dugout. As James Scott knocks it up this left-hand side. It's stumped away by Loic into the main stand. There's been another goal at Somerset. We'll cross to Andy Burke in a few moments or two as Marcus Fraser throws the ball into the chest of Mikel Mandron. Back with Fraser, under pressure from his former teammate Eamon Brophy. Boyd Muntz pokes the ball forward, Leak clears it and dumps it into the main stand once again for a throw-in. Marcus Fraser's in a real hurry to get things going here. 64 minutes gone in Dingwall. Ross County 1, St Mirren 0. Jordan White's first half goal, the difference so far, as James Scott picks up edge of the 18, rolls it into Keanu Bacchus, takes a touch, steadies himself, gets another one. Now Scott once again, now Boyd Muntz. Jamieson knocks the ball into the box. It's flicked away eventually by Ryan Leak. And Simon Murray will have to tidy up. He's under pressure from Scott, and Murray launches the ball forward, headed back the way by Gogic. Keanu Bacchus has possession once again for St Mirren. as Mandron gets the better of Leek on the edge of the county 18. It's Jamieson, looks up, lovely ball into the box, Scott's at the back post, drills the shot, and it's blocked by Effetti. Rolled back to Tanzer, in comes across again, this time Aina with the clearance. County under a bit of pressure here. As Bowomo picks up on the far side, gives to Jamieson, drifting in field. No way through for Boyd Manson. County will clear. As Simon Murray is beaten to the ball by Bowomo on the halfway line. And now it's all the way back with Zach Hemming. Launches an attack down this left-hand side. Tanzer chests it down into the path of Mikael Mandron. White steals it back. Kianis robs White. Leek. County just hacking the ball away to safety. Anywhere will do at the moment for the home side, as Jamieson does well on the far side to keep the ball in play. Bowomo nips it away from Simon Murray. Now Gogic. St Mirren get a bit of joy as Gogic looks for Tanzer, and it bounces over the left boot of Tanzer out of play for a throw. And let's now cross to Somerset Park and hear of that goal from Andy Burke.
Yeah, Ayr United 3, Partick Thistle 2. The visitors just starting to have a spell of pressure, and they've got the goal that brings them back into the game. Tommy Adaloy, who's come off the bench and had a bit of an impact, he's causing the Ayr United defence problems. It was a lovely ball in from the left. Adaloy peeled off at the back post and prodded the ball home. Game on. Ayr United 3, Partick 2.
Thank you, Andy. Here's Simon Murray for the Staggies. Drifting in from the right-hand side. Middle of the park is Max Sheaf. All the way back to the halfway line to find Ryan Leek. Left-footed ball out towards Josh Reid on the county left. Midway through the St Mirren half. Rolls it back to Eli King. King infield to Aina. County standing firm. They're trying to launch an attack of their own as Effetti's under pressure from James Scott. Rolls it back to Aina. Takes the first time ball forward. Looking for Brophy, who's in behind. And eventually St Mirren get the ball clear. Sheaf just nicking the ball off the heels of Mandron, but Jamieson's put Leek under pressure, and County still in possession with King. Over this side to Effetti. Now Aina thumps the ball forward along the deck, looking for Teddy Jenks. Bypasses Teddy Jenks, and St Mirren have it back with Zach Hemming. Now Bowomo, and the ball has crossed the line on the far side. Stephen Thompson is watching this one for us in the Glasgow studio. Stephen, what have you made of the second half so far?
Yes, St Mirren are putting on a lot more pressure, trying to get the equalising goal, but again, not really creating too many big chances. The one right at the start of the game, at the second half restart with Jamieson, the shot, very bright start to the second half, obviously saved. Tanzer's one just there a few minutes ago was blocked. So Ross County doing well to keep the score at 1-0 without really threatening. It's been mostly St Mirren in terms of possession, but they still haven't managed to really create anything, you know, concrete. And for Ross County, as the minutes tick away, they'll just be thinking, can we keep this clean sheet?
Thank you, Tomo. There's been another goal at Somerset Park. Andy Burke can tell us more.
It's an equaliser. Partick Thistle are back on level terms, and again it was another ball from wide on the left from Harry Milne that caused confusion in the Ayr United defence. I think it was Jack Sanders that had a swipe at it, but succeeded only in knocking it by his own goalkeeper, and Thistle have worked their way back into this game. It's anyone's now. Ayr United 3, Partick Thistle 3.
Thank you, Andy. We watched Partick Thistle a few weeks ago. Robbo down in Inverness draw with Cali Thistle 3-3. They're the entertainers. Well, we always say Fir Hill for thrills, but Somerset Park for thrills. It doesn't have the same ring to it, does it? But yeah, you know what I'm getting at. Partick Thistle are very good away from home.
No, listen, they're a threat. Their front three in particular, Lawless, Graham and Fitzpatrick. But they're a threat. They score goals, they leak goals, but they certainly have a real go at it. Since Chris Doolan's been there in it, I think there'll be another goal. I don't know which way he's going to go in that game, but it could be another goal.
Josh Sims is on for Eamon Brophy. Meantime, as we had a sub here for Ross County, their second of the evening. Here's Ryan Leek. Now Max Sheaf. Josh Sims, the hero on Saturday at home to Livingston, as Effetti knocks it down the right-hand side. Tanzer wins it back on the halfway line as Sheaf. Was a foul given against Teddy Jenks down this near side. St Mirren about to introduce a double sub of their own. Hearing though, there's another goal at Somerset Park. Drama, more drama for Andy Burke.
Mystic Robbo called it. There was another goal and it came almost immediately. Harry McHugh drove at the Partick defence. They allowed him too much time and space and he fired a low effort past Ross Stewart to regain the lead for Ayr United almost immediately. It's raining goals at Somerset Park this evening. It's Ayr United 4, Partick Thistle 3.
Wow, quite an incredible scoreline at Somerset Park. The home side leading by 4 goals to 3. Double sub for St Mirren with Elvis Bowomo and Mikael Mandaron off as Hemming launches a free kick into the box. It's Keelan Boyd-Munce who takes aim, zips it into the 18-yard box. It's James Scott looking to pick up the scraps. Now Bacchus out to Jayden Brown, who was one of the subs for St Mirren. Jonah Ayunga also introduced into the action. Stephen Robinson again has cut a very frustrated figure down on the far side. Admitted his team didn't really play well on Saturday, but still won the game at home to St Johnstone. He'll want more from his side. They have a free kick over on the far side. It's in line with the Ross County 18-yard box. A real chance to test Ross County here with the new additions in tow. And it comes. Good delivery. Flicked on near post by Scott. Might get a second bite at the cherry. County eventually hack the ball clear. And it's Jayden Brown on the halfway line who'll keep the move alive. Zips it along the deck to find Jonah Ayunga. Ayunga gets turned away from Jenks and drills one towards goal. It's a daisy cutter and watched all the way by George Wickens.
Yeah, there's no doubt St Mirren on the ascendancy now. But again, Stephen said earlier on, we've pointed out, Ian, they've not really created a good clear opening. Just that wonderful bit of skill and shot from Lewis Jamieson. Ayunga there, bad decision. I think his first turn's excellent, but he's got to be looking to roll somebody in, but no.
7 goals at Somerset Park, 6 goals at Hampden. Queen's Park 6, Arbroath 0. Some scoreline at the bottom end of the championship. But St Mirren have got a bit of defending to do here as Bolton turns away from Josh Sims inside his own 18-yard box and clears the ball away to safety. St Mirren with just over 18 minutes left of this one, chasing an equaliser, but wary that Ross County would love a second to kill this one off. It's Ross County 1, St Mirren 0 on BBC Radio Scotland Sports Sound, online on BBC Sounds as well. Of course, full coverage of a very busy evening in the Premiership tomorrow. 5 games on Sports Sound with Kenny and the gang. The highlight amongst them, the Edinburgh Derby. Kilmarnock at home to Rangers. Rangers slipped up on match day 1, but now very much on top of the pile. The pressure's on them as they head to Rugby Park. Celtic take on Dundee, and of course there's other games, big games at the bottom as St Mirren launch an attack on this far side. The ball is bouncing away and Jayden Brown scampering after it to try and do something, wherever he slips on the surface, and it's behind for the goal kick. The other 2 games in the Premiership tomorrow sees Livingston take on Motherwell and Aberdeen take on St Johnstone. Quite unbelievable when you think that Neil Warnock was a guest on Craig Levine's co-hosted podcast Sucked in the Morning earlier last year. Who would have thought that those two would be battling one another in the dugout a few months on? It just shows you how football works.
Some good games tomorrow night. Yes. Oh, some big matches. I'm sure we'll all be tuned in listening to it as well, but you know, if this result stays, then Motherwell suddenly will feel the breath of Ross County on them. St Johnstone will drop a place. They'll go up to Aberdeen, knowing that they need a result. Aberdeen need a result. The Edinburgh Derby you pointed out. Celtic Dundee, you know, they're a little bit tetchy there. There's Celtic nerves coming in. Of course, Rangers are going to another informed side in Kilmarnock. So wonderful stuff for us tomorrow night. That I'm sure you'll hear right here on the BBC.
Yeah, of course. Catch the highlights on BBC One Scotland, 10:40 tomorrow with Tomo and the guys. Highlights of this one and all 5 of tomorrow's games. The highlight, of course, from this one so far is Jordan White's opener, 11 minutes in. Alex Gogic will not be watching Sports Scene tomorrow evening, that's for sure. He won't want reminded of that slip, unless, of course, St Mirren have a dramatic turnaround. They're in possession now in the midfield with Boyd Munce back to the aforementioned Gogic. Now Bolton, just inside his own half, floats the ball across to Marcus Fraser. Fraser drifting forward, he's got Tanser on the overlap. Tanser looks up, knocks the ball into the box, and it's easily held by George Wickens.
Good play. You know, it was, we talked about earlier that the St Mirren wide men must drag them in, and Ayunga he dragged the county full-back in there. They released Tanser, but I mean, it's been the big thing for St Mirren all night tonight. The lack of quality in the final third, which has really let them down. In this, first half it was all Bawumo going down the right hand side, not putting a good cross in. That's Tanser, at least 3 chances to put in a decent cross, just a loopy one straight into George Wickens' hands.
Well, the full times are starting to come in from the championship games. This one kicked off at 8 o'clock, of course. Raith Rovers 0, Greenock Morton 0. Ian Murray's men might be kicking themselves when they find out the scoreline at Tannadice. Currently Dundee United losing at home to Airdrieonians, although Raith Rovers will go level on points with Dundee United as it stands in the championship table. Here's Olasanya, midway through his own half, under pressure from King and Jenks. Rolls it into the path of Alex Gogic. It's Tanser down this left-hand side, only meets Mishi Ifeti, who just thumps the ball upfield, and it's all the way through to Zach Hemming, who's defending that goal away to your right-hand side, where the county fans in the jail end bouncing up and down, the drums going as well. The feel-good factor starting to return to the Global Energy Stadium, especially after that late winner. What a win here tonight would do for the confidence of this group of players too.
It's massive. We spoke about it at the top of the programme, that if they get winning on Saturday was huge, especially in the manner that it happened, going 2 up, back to 2-2, getting the winner in injury time. But to improve on that, I don't think Don will be overly pleased with the performance going forward, but resolute they are tonight, and if they move up another place, just to get that feeling of a bit more safety, a bit more relief, and going above St Johnstone, putting the pressure on St Johnstone to go and do something Aberdeen tomorrow night, but getting within striking distance of Motherwell, Aberdeen, Hibs. You can't put a number on that.
Here's Josh Sims, robs Jaden Brown down that far side, but St Mirren have it back. Gogic rolls it infield to Fraser. It's also full time at Hampden. Queen's Park 6, Arbroath 0. As Queen's Park record their 3rd victory over Arbroath of the season. These two played each other twice in August, haven't since, and I think Arbroath will want to see the back of Queen's Park pretty soon. 6-0 for the Spiders this evening. Elsewhere in the championship, we're still playing in the other 3 games. Ayr United leading Partick Thistle by 4 goals to 3. Airdrie still beating Dundee United 1-0, and it's 0-0 between Cally Thistle and Dunfermline. Here in Dingwall, Partick Thistle are in possession. Rolled in from the far side, Max Sheaf knocks it out of play on the far side for a throw-in, and there's been a goal at Tannadice. Tyrone Smith can tell us more.
Yeah, and you can probably tell by the boos in the background that it's another goal for the visitors, who now lead Dundee United by 2-0. But Dundee United pushing upfield, they were hit in the breakaway. The ball was eventually slipped through to Josh O'Connor, the substitute, and he just slotted it under the keeper and into the net to make it 2-0 now to Airdrieonians. And we really are in the dying seconds here at Tannadice, with the timer ticking into the 4th minute of added time, but it really looks like game over now here at Tannadice.
Thank you, Tyrone. A goal that his father Gary would be proud of. Airdrieonians then with a massive result for them, who went into this one with the worst away record in the league. That'll hurt Raith Rovers because they could have taken full advantage. However, they were at home to the informed team in the country, really, Greenock Morton. So they were still awaiting the full times elsewhere in the division. In League One, it's still goalless between Stirling Albion and Hamilton. Here's Marcus Fraser for St Mirren, midway through the county half, looks to play in Olasanya in the 18-yard box. Olasanya slips on the surface, and it's behind for the goal.
I'm watching Stevie Robinson here. He's a real jack in the box, as we know, and he's rubbing that beard of his. He's frustrated because, again, good build-up play. Marcus Fraser just a tad too hard with the ball to Alunga. He couldn't quite, or Lucer couldn't get it there because there's bodies in the middle. There's no doubt at this moment in time that Ross County are not exactly hanging on. It's not like St Mirren are peppering them here, but St Mirren have got large swathes of territory, large swathes of possession, but Ross County have denied them any clear opportunities. The only save Wickens has had to make was within the first 30 seconds of the second half. Wonderful play from Lewis Jameson and a great strike, but an equally good save. An equally good save from the county keeper.
A real sore one on the far side. Ryan Leake could be in trouble here. He jumped into that challenge, and Chris Graham over on the far side just having a word with the Ross County captain. A real rash challenge to give away. And this will give St Mirren an opportunity on the far side to deliver this one and really put some pressure on. A bit of naivety from the Ross County defender. And full time has also gone at Tannadice. Dundee United losing by 2-0 at home to Airdrieonians. Big result at the top of the Championship. Ayr United also beating Partick Thistle. It's full time there, 4-3. What a game, what a result for Scott Brown. St Mirren have the free kick, rolled in again near post, and it's up the head goes of Eli King to head away. Simon Murray chasing down the kick taker as Bacchus puts it back out to the far side, and it's gone behind for the corner.
St Mirren have not really put any good quality in at all. Cross balls, they've had plenty of free kicks, another corner here, and again that will frustrate Stephen Robinson, because when you're not playing well, not creating a lot, take care of your set plays. Put it in an area where guys, doesn't have to be pinpoint, put it in an area where guys can go and attack it and maybe get something on it.
Corner kick to St Mirren will be taken momentarily. Chris Graham has a bit of sorting out to do between Olasanya and King on the goal line. In comes the kick. Good kick it was as well, but straight into the gloves of the man in yellow, George Wickens, who didn't really move there at all. The ball just was Velcro like. It just attached itself onto the gloves of the goalie. And meantime, there's going to be a double sub for Ross County with Don Cowie. 3 changes actually for Ross County. And James Brown, Jay Henderson are ready for action as well. It looks like can't quite see the number of the third sub, but we'll find out in a minute or two as Ayunya fluffs his lines. Afeti helps him out. Ayunya keeps it in play down this near side at the touchline, rolls it infield, but St Mirren have it back, and it's Marcus Fraser who hacks the ball forward. Ayunga chests it down for James Scott, who gets away from Ayunya. Terry Jenks back to help out as Scott Tanzer picks up down this left-hand side. And County once again clear. Eli King has been heavily involved, and he was the one who blutered the ball away to safety. St Mirren have it with Fraser. Now Olasanya midway through the Ross County half. Toyosi Olasanya goes back to his captain. Infield to Bacchus, who's got Murray bearing down on him. Fraser out to Olasanya, looking to drift in off this left-hand side. Infield to Keelan Boyd-Munn, rights the challenge of Jordan White. Now it's James Bolton from distance. He let fly, and that one high, wide, and not very handsome. Triple subs for Ross County. James Brown is the first of which, and he'll go on to his customary right back spot. Michi Efeti, who's been industrious in this one for Ross County, the former Grimsby Town man, heading off. George Harmon is also being thrown into the action. Max Sheaf is another one who's been busy and put himself about in Ross County colours. He's heading off. And Jay Henderson, the lively winger formerly of St Mirren, is heading on, and in the evening is over for Simon Murray as he applauds the Ross County supporters, jogs his way off. And Ross County, with less than 5 minutes to go in this one, just looking to see the game out. Henderson will give them a bit of pace going forward as well. He's someone that you know from Cali Thistle.
He had a terrific season last year. It looks like just a little bit of change of shape there for Ross County. You know, you're looking at, you pop at this stage maybe like for like, but they've they've thrown on Harmon to play as a left wing back.
Here's a chance for James Scott, who looks to be racing through on goal. Toyosi Olasanya's beat the goalkeeper, and St Mirren have a late equaliser. A simple through ball. James Scott was running alongside it. Toyosi Olasanya took over, nipped in and poked the ball beyond George Wickens, and St Mirren are back on level terms as one apiece.
Well, just what we said there, that wee tweaky shape. Harmon's gone in front of Josh Reid, but I think it's another mistake, because it was a nothing ball. It was just prodded forward. I'm not sure if it was Leak or Reid that were just delayed, and it just allowed Olasanya to get past him and just toe poke it past George Wickens, and it's an equaliser for St Mirren. As you said, you can't say it's been coming. They're certainly in possession, but they never really looked like they were going to score. But it's 1-1.
Stephen, your assessment on that goal?
Well, I think Robbo's just called it. It's another defensive error, at this time from Ross County. Centre half just letting the ball bounce and not realising that Olasanya's got such explosive pace over 10 yards. He gets onto it first and puts it past the goalkeeper. Robbo's right, St Mirren in this second half have had all the possession. Ross County have been playing to try and just see out the 1-0, just clearing things as long up the pitch as they can. And St Mirren have been trying to build attack after attack without really penetrating, without putting anything really too dangerous into the county box. But one moment they switched
here's a chance, Tomo, for James Scott as he races through on goal. St Mirren chasing a winner, and James Scott sends his shot wide. A real chance for a second.
Well, we've talked about not creating chances, and Stephen will pick this one up from the studio, but again, a nothing ball over the top. This time James Scott ran free in a panic. He just needed that little bit of composure. Possibly could have just lifted it over George Wickens. He tried to use it outside his right foot, put it in the far corner, missed by 5, 6, 7 yards there, but what an opportunity from nothing to could have been ahead within the space of 45 seconds.
Well, the Ross County side were heading to their first clean sheet in 12. Suddenly, it's heart and mouth stuff for the Staggies, as Jonah Ayunga is yellow carded for a late challenge on Ryan Leake just inside the Ross County half. Stephen Robinson certainly enjoyed that equaliser. He leapt up, and his backroom staff also almost on the field of play as they celebrated that equaliser, but you can see he's tried to change it as the game has progressed.
Listen, he's known it wasn't working. Nothing was on. He was trying to his bench. He was looking for people to do something a bit different. He's brought in a bit of pace. He's brought in a bit of power. He's got the equaliser in, and incredibly, that's probably the clearest cut chance of the game for James Scott there from both sides. They could arguably from nothing to going in front, so it's going to be a frantic last few minutes here, because a goal now for either side would be absolutely huge. Although in saying that, I don't think either side's done enough to win the match.
Well, there was late drama in Dingwall on Saturday. 2 minutes of stoppage time when Josh Sims won it. Here he is now as he's battling for Alex Gogic. He's got the better of Gogic. Sims sends the ball into the box. It's away by Bolton and eventually helped on by Gogic as he is the overhead kick that one out of play. Now the Ross County fans urging their side on. The band of St Mirren supporters away over to our left hand side also cheering on their favourites. Is there a winner? As Keanu Beckett's heads on in the midfield, midway through his own half, gets a second bite at the cherry, but James Brown intercepts. Now Boyd Muntz to the goal scorer Olasanya. Back to Tanzer in the left back slot. Now Gogic. Bolton has it, crosses the halfway line. Pretty much everyone bar Sims behind the ball at the moment. In fact, now Sims is behind the ball, so it's 11 men behind the ball for Ross County. St Mirren have the upper hand, they have the momentum. Can they find a winner? It's Ayunga who'll chase at the byline. He got something on it, but not enough to keep it in play. And we will now find out just how many minutes of stoppage time we're having. The fourth official, Alistair Grieve, is out, and it will be 7 minutes. Just like Saturday, 7 minutes of added time.
Well, it'd be astonishing if somebody nicked this now, and it would be, I would say, it'd be massive, but you would think the momentum's with St Mirren, but we saw it on Saturday. The momentum was Livingston and it was County that struck, so this game could go either way. But based on the dearth of chances created, I'd be surprised if there was another goal. But as you say, both teams understand just how big nicking a winger now would be.
Well, the live league table sees Ross County slip to 11th place. Ross County in a scrap at the bottom, but St Mirren keen for every point possible in the race to secure a top 6 spot. St Mirren would love a winner, then put their feet up and watch the rest of the results tomorrow trickle in. As it stands, they move to within a point of Kilmarnock. Kilmarnock at home to Rangers tomorrow. And comes the ball from the far side, the St Mirren right-hand side, away by Ayinya, only as far as Scott, who volleys towards goal, and it's away again over the crossbar of George Wickens. And yeah, so important now as we look at the dugouts. Stephen Robinson is just a permanent figure as he almost crosses the field of play as we speak, but he's desperate to get instructions onto his players. Don Cowie's one arm in the pocket as he tries to get some final instructions onto his side. At this stage of the game, I think, you know, a point would be good for Ross County. I'm sure both sides would want all three as Teddy Jenks battles for possession midway through the St Mirren half. George Harman has it. Now down this near side is G. Henderson, and he's caught late by his former teammate Scott Tanser, and Tanser earns a yellow card for his trouble. Oh, so one for the winger, because he looked like he'd left him for dead there.
Yeah, that's what Jay's all about. He got the ball straight at him. Tanser thought he could win it, and I use an old Scottish word, breezed in there. He just took everything. You know, I think it was Jay, the ball, the linesman, the old macaroon salesman on the side there. Everything was wiped out. But opportunity, we talked about not creating much. Free kick in a good area. This is where you want a good ball, a good delivery. Ask a question of St Mirren's defenders. Ask a question of the goalkeeper. Can you put it in there somewhere for the men in blue to attack?
It's the unknown Cardiff City man, Eli King, is behind it. Right through delivery. Looping ball into the box. It goes, and it bounces beyond the advances of Jordan White. Josh Sims races after it to keep it in play. It's come off a St Mirren player last. Another play on the far side for a throw-in, right in at the corner flag, in between the jail end and the east stand.
What a ball. That's exactly what you're saying, and just 2 or 3 county lads couldn't quite get on the end of it. St Mirren boys didn't want to get on the end of it, and they managed to scramble it away for the moment.
And it comes from Reid. Henderson's there, up with the challenge. Now Sims, the break of the ball won't foul kindly for George Harman. As St Mirren get it cleared, appeals for a free kick. The push from Harman on Brown. As Reid has possession, County give it away on the far side. It's Jenks who wins it back. Now Eli King looks up and lofts the ball forward. Knocked down by White, on to Harman. Now Sims hits the byline, wins the corner. He was the impact on Saturday, and he's starting to have the same kind of reaction in the closing stages of this one. We're into the 4th minute of stoppage time here on BBC Radio Scotland. Ross County 1, St Mirren 1, and the home side have a free kick, sorry, corner kick even. Just in the junction between that jail end and the east stand. Jordan White forward, so too Ryan Leake, as they both stand on the edge of the 6-yard box, and it comes again, punched away by Hemming. It's only as far as Henderson hits it on the volley. It's bouncing and bobbling and eventually cleared by someone in red, and now St Mirren might be able to launch an attack of their own as Olasanya looks to race down this left-hand side, but it's knocked back to the goalkeeper by James Brown, and up in the cold Dingwall air goes the ball as Jay Henderson plucks it out of the sky, but he's showed too much to Scott Tanser, and it's thumped away to safety. 2.5 minutes to go here in Dingwall. Is there a late winner? As Loic Ayinya looks up, strokes the ball forward, only meets the bald head of Alex Gogic. It's Olasanya who goes to ground, and he wins his side a free kick just inside the Ross County centre circle.
Well, a little flurry there for County, a couple of great balls put in the box, and St Mirren panicked a little bit now. Now we talked about earlier, just a couple of minutes ago, about putting a good ball in. There's an opportunity for St Mirren now to load the box and throw one in there and try and snatch it. As I say, I think both sides realise just the value of what a winning goal would mean tonight.
Marcus Fraser is over this free kick. A minute and a half of the 90 remain. So too is Bolton. It's Fraser. Lights the ball forward, away by Henderson. Josh Sims back to help out, just as enough to clear away from the advances of Gogic. Pumped forward again by Fraser. It's Ryan Leake who heads the ball out of play for a throw-in down this near side. Just about in line with the Ross County 18-yard box. Keanu Bacchus has it. Quick rub of the ball with the jersey, and he's making his way back to the advertising hoardings. He's going to launch it. Almost like a set piece into the final 60 seconds. In from Bacchus. Up goes Leake. It's a strong, commanding clearance from the defender. St Mirren have it back with Fraser. Now Bacchus, still down this left-hand side. In from Tanzer. Away by Ayina. Now Gogic into the final 30 seconds. Is there a winner? Looks like St Mirren want to end the half strongly. Good ball forward. James Bolton's remained forward, and it just wouldn't fall kindly for the defender, and makes no attempt to connect with it. It's gone behind for the goal kick, and that could be that, Robbo.
It certainly is. I think over the piece, a point, probably right. Doesn't do much for either side. Neither move up, neither move down. It would have been massive for St Mirren to get above Kilmarnock. It would have been huge for Ross County to give up above St Johnstone, but they didn't.
There is the full-time whistle confirmation. This one ends in a draw. Jordan White got the home side off to a flyer 11 minutes in. A real howler from Alex Gogic. He was slack with the back pass to his goalkeeper. Jordan White raced in, rounded the goalie and slotted home to give Ross County a 1-0 lead. Keelan Boyd-Munce called George Wickens into action moments later, but Ross County had their lead at the break. St Mirren came out a different side in the second half. They really upped it and created a bit of pressure on the Ross County rearguard before finally Toyosi Olasanya got their reward for that sustained pressure. 4 minutes towards the end, a simple through ball right through the heart of the Ross County defence, and Ayina was there to poke the ball beyond George Wickens. Full time here in Dingwall. Ross County 1, St Mirren 1.
Ross County